Everyone, it's Apex. I finally beat the Q boss, and it didn't drop any loot, but I did get into the server. Usually it's like a 12 to 14k wait on my server near like 4 to 6 p.m, which is pretty crazy. I mean, I just want to play the game, Blizzard. You know, I give you 15 bucks and you give me no gameplay. No, but really, let's look what's in game. Wow, here it is, Stormbike Emissary. So we have AV Weekend. Now, a lot of people have probably been leveling with this, and it was just added today. A lot of people have been doing the BG leveling, but a lot of them don't quite know how good it is. So I have a lot of data, and I will be showing you pretty much the differences pre-AV Weekend as well as after AV Weekend, how things are, and is it worth it to use on, let's say, a new DK you're leveling, or a new character you just boosted at 58, or maybe you have some characters in the 50s or 60s, and is it worth it to do AV? So I will answer all that because I do have a lot of data. I pretty much leveled up my Paladin the completely normal way, just doing quests, dungeoning. I even did the Ring of Blood, which was awful. It was like 150k XP for probably like over an hour's worth of time because everyone's having to fight to get the quest. So do a little bit of data for you on AV. I do wish I would have leveled this from, you know, 60 to 70, but I didn't. So now I am doing it. But I did 61 AVs so far. I have 137, so that is about a 61% win rate for Alliance. Horde does have a little bit of a disadvantage on this map, and I played all of Classic and BC with this disadvantage, and it was awful. But they still win, and the honor disparity between winning and losing isn't actually that massive, so it's not that bad even if you're Horde. I do not know about their queue times though, so anyone in the comments, let me know. But the queue times for Alliance, once the AV Weekend hits, they're under a minute. They're under like 30 seconds, and I am gonna die because I'm trying to record right now. But essentially, okay, is this guy really not killing me while I'm recording? I'm recording right now, guys. Please don't bother me. If you just take my Paladin sample size into account, I essentially have played BGs for about 10 to 11 hours, probably more around 11-ish. And with all of that, I've gotten almost 57k honor, minus about 5,000 just for ganking and Hellfire for the regular leveling I was doing. So in under 24 hours, you could basically get a full brutal set on any class spec. And I've been doing this whole thing with no gear, so it's not like, I mean, it's AV. All right, and so what can you do with your honor? Well, you could just save up to the 75,000, and I'd highly recommend this for pretty much all your characters you're going to be playing, because going right into the expansion with that, one, will be less honor grinding, the second you at 80, and there is a lot of honor grinding at the beginning. It will also help you in PvE because you'll have a little bit of gear easily from that. So it doesn't take too long to get the 75k. If you're not going to be playing a ton, I would do that. But if you want to go above and beyond, and you want to have a good gear while leveling, let's say you just boosted a 70 or a 58 and level to 70 because it doesn't take long, then you could buy a lot of this brutal gear. And if you even wanted to get it just for looks, you could buy it like the S3, which is Vengeful, or S2 Merciless, or even Season 1. And they even have classic gear in here, which is funny to me, but the most expensive is the brutal gear, but it's not that expensive in reality. If you're gearing up, let's say, a Death Knight, which, so that's the entire left side, the entire right side, weapon and sigil, that will cost you 116,000. Now, if you're not getting the medallion trinket, because let's say you're a human DK or human whatever, then you won't get the trinket. That'll cost you 112k, and you just have to get that trinket somewhere else, and you'll basically be completely BIS. And it won't even cost a ton of gold to have like the best gemming and enchanting, because you don't even need a weapon enchant. Usually that's the most expensive. You buy your weapon, 19k, all these other pieces, and this is pretty much how it is for everybody. But let's say you're playing a Ret Pally and you want to be BIS, and technically you'd also buy the shield and the one-hander, which would add you another 19k onto that price tag. But it's not too bad overall. It will help you level. This gear will last you pretty much till the late 70s, so it'll help you PvP, it'll help you do dungeons, and really it'll only get replaced by some like questing blues and some high level greens, pretty much 77 on, because most of this gear is about eye level 154, I believe, for the brutal, and pretty much in the high levels of Wrath, questing, and dungeons, it's going to be in the 170s to low 180s, and then right when you're hitting the 80 dungeons and whatnot, to start hitting those eye level 200s, which will be quite a bit higher than the brutal. But essentially the gear will last you most of your leveling, and it looks cool, good with PvP, and 116k, that's not too bad. So far on my Death Knight, I have about 27k honor, and I'd say about 20,000 of that is from AV, about the rest was just from Hellfire and ganking. And so far, most of those were done before the AV Weekend, and I have 20 battles played, and 14 of those are victories. So my DK has a 70% win rate, which is pretty good. And, you know, I think it did go down a little bit during the AV Weekend, but that could just be my sample. And already with this, as you can see, I have no gear because I haven't bought anything yet. I'm still deciding whether I'm just going to sit at 75k into the official Wrath or get a bunch of gear, because for a Death Knight in particular, this gear is very easy to get. I know a lot of people are playing DKs because they just came out, obviously. And you could easily get this gear. This weapon, either one, they will last you pretty much to the high 70s, maybe even till 80. Great for PvP. They're really good even for tanking. And best of all, they can easily be used for Utgard Keep soloing, as well as just having the full Brutal set. And really, it doesn't take that long to get this, and it might make it so your leveling to 70 to 80 is extremely quick and easy. You don't have to worry about getting ganked because you're safe inside the dungeon. And this is free. I mean, it's just a couple hours of your time. It's not like you have to focus the entire time. And it's just casual BGs with 40 people. So it's a pretty good option for DKs in particular, I'd say. Because naturally, they don't have any gear from boosting. All right, so here's a bit of data. Now, this is about 80 games pooled between my Paladin and my Death Knight. And this is taking games of AV before the Alterac Valley weekend and then after or during. And there's a few things to note here. One, the highest honor I'd gotten for any game under 20 minutes was about 1350, and I actually got that twice, and both games were under 11 minutes. So for your typical hour, you're averaging about 8,000-ish honor per hour. So if you can manage that sort of outlier rate, you'll be fully BIS'd out, left gear, right side of your gear, weapons, everything, in just 14 hours. Now, that of course is not going to happen for most people, 99.9% of people, but that is pretty much on the high end of what you can get. And then on the low end, the lowest I'd gotten for any of these, some of them say 200 and something, but I entered halfway. The lowest I gotten for a full game was about 400 honor, and at that rate, you're averaging about 2,000 to 3,000 honor, which is pretty bad. You know, it's going to take you 3 to 4 times as long to get the gear from that 14-hour mark. But that is an outlier as well. So the vast majority of these during the AV weekend were typically around 800 to like 950 honor, and they're about 8 to 10 minute games. So with that, you're averaging over 5,000 honor per hour. So you're still going to get fully geared in under a full day's worth of time. So you just play 2 days on the weekend and you'll be fully BIS'd out by playing half the day in AV. And it's not like it's super difficult compared to raiding Sunwell for the past couple months at Black Temple and having the gear to go into Sunwell, doing all the attunements that led you up to that point. I mean, you can have a brand new character, and then within a day or two, you could literally be fully BIS'd out left and right side after spending, you know, 112k plus worth of honor. So that is very good honor conversion rate going into Wrath, and you can easily have a good time leveling. You can do the blood solo, Utgard Keep, and some other things that might pop up, as well as just the general PvP, and have stronger gear the whole time leveling faster. So now in terms of the experience rates, most of the time I was getting around 40 to 50,000. There were a couple times it'd be really low, like 27,000, or on the high end I got 60k or around 63k a few times. But it looks like the average is about 200 to 330,000 XP per honor, and that's without rested. I don't even know if it actually works with rested because I've just been playing, but that's pretty good, because the second you hit Outlands, your XP is pretty much around 300k a level, and it slowly goes up. By the time you're at the final level, 69 to 70, it's, I believe, 714,000-ish or something like that. But before that, it was maybe 640k. So it really jumps a lot on those last few levels in terms of XP. But you can be getting a full level an hour or every 2 hours for the most part. That's really good. If you have any characters around level 60, or maybe you have a 58 boost lying around, or maybe you have someone in the 60 to 70 range, or you haven't done a DK yet, you can do a DK start at 55 and then quickly do the starting zone to 59, and then just level with AV the entire way to 70. Just from 61 to 70, you should be getting around 65 to about 85k honor in total. So you'll hit max level and have pretty much the best set of gear all within a couple hours of the character existing. So that's pretty amazing. There's not really many opportunities like this in WoW, I feel like. So I would do this if you have some free time. And even if you can't do it during this weekend, the XP rate as well as the honor rate is still very good without the AV weekend. I was kind of surprised when it came out. It really didn't feel like a huge boost at all. I was expecting maybe like double the honor rate or something like that. But another little bonus right now that's going on, I don't know how long this will last. I mean, it might last the whole expansion possibly, is that Alliance are getting a loot box right now. Either one of two things is happening with the quest. Either the quest giver is not giving you multiple after you complete the first one, and it's supposed to be just once a day, or people aren't allowed to share it and people are actually sharing the quest basically every single AV. So you're getting this, you know, 67% of the time when you're doing Alterac Valley. And it has a couple things in it. So I'll open up 12 of these real quick with you and show you what you get. We're getting some fish, some more fish, some scrolls, some bread. We're getting some leather. We're getting some potions, some fell iron ore. We're getting some crawdads. These are mad ones. Get some health pots. We're getting some gold along the way too. Not hide leather. Some golden darters, more fish. And then we're getting more potions, some cloth, some water. And yeah, that's basically what we got from opening 12. That's not too bad. I mean, that's just free. So that's a nice little bonus that we have going on right now. Sorry, Horde. And just some more loot boxes real quick. On my DK, I have another 10. And one thing I noticed opening those last 12, I got a bit of gold. So let's see how much I get right here. I'm at 1181. Now we're getting some herbs, ore, water, marks. So that's rat, potions, some more leather. Got a little bit of gold so far. I mean, this is just a free bonus to doing the BGs. It's just surprising that you're actually able to get something like this. So I got another, like what? I started with 1280 or 1181, I think. I got another 25 gold like that. I mean, all this. And 25 gold just for 10 battleground wins. Free. I would do that, and let me know what you guys think in the comment section below and what you are up to, and I will see you in my next video.